So, something I come across a lot in my work is toxic relationships. I tend to encounter the idea that people are suffering from a toxic relationship far more than you might imagine. I think this is because our day and age creates the capacity for toxic relationships to flourish. It's the way we live, it's the way we think, it's the way we manage problems. It's the way we mask what we experience a lot of the time when we do have difficulties with other people. It's necessary to describe a toxic relationship. It's rather like a tug-of-war game. If you feel that you're with someone and they are pulling on you in the sense that they are constantly disagreeing with you or creating conflict with you, just even gently rubbing you up the wrong way. And this can be almost unnoticeable and sometimes, unfortunately, done in a rather nice sort of way. But if you encounter experiences like this with other people, you may find that it is actually a toxic relationship that you're experiencing. It can happen in any number of places. It can happen in the home, in the family. It can happen with social groups of people. It can happen in romantic situations. It can happen in the workplace. It can happen just about anywhere. And because our world is very conducive to what a toxic relationship is all about, in other words, it allows it to flourish, then this tug of war can go on. Somebody can be quite cutting in a nice way, quite debasing, quite conflicting with you. And you immediately find yourself tugging back, trying to get your power back, because perhaps they're trying to, sometimes unconsciously, rob you of your power. It can be known as vampirism. It's the mulo striking. It's a ghostly presence, a shadow, we could say, trying to infiltrate the relationship or infiltrate the situation. But whatever we like to call it, it happens. And when you're in the presence of somebody who is toxic, it isn't a very nice feeling. It creeps up on you sometimes involuntarily. And if you don't recognize it and understand it and deal with it, it can really take you for a ride. It can really be quite damaging. So when I find some of my clients telling me that they're in or have been in a toxic relationship, and I try to explain what is actually happening for them, they immediately recoil. They sometimes behave as if the person who's dishing out the toxicity almost has a right to do it. And this is the very discreet nature of the toxic person, that they will mask it or dress it up to seem like they're not being toxic at all. And if you address them about it, they probably say, I don't know what you're talking about. Me? Toxic? What are you talking about? It's everybody else that's toxic. I'm not. But if you've got your senses working in a enlightened and detailed manner, then, and of course this is something you need to develop so that you recognize what's happening around you, then you're going to be subject to understanding and feeling a toxic relationship, when it's happening, you're going to be aware of this very strange and uncomfortable feeling that a toxic person can put across to you. Now, what do you do about it? That's the thing. Some people don't like the idea of pointing the finger at someone and saying, you're toxic. Not openly, but they don't like recognizing that it's actually taking place. Some of my clients feel like this. And it's my job to say, well, look, you're not expressing yourself in the best way you can if you are subject to a toxic relationship. And it doesn't matter where it's coming from, whether it's in your family, whether it's in romance, whether it's with your workplace, a work colleague or something. You are obliged to recognize that it's going on, because there are ways of dealing with it. There are ways of managing it. There are ways of eliminating it, even if you can say goodbye to someone who's toxic. If you can't, then management is called for. If you don't learn to manage it, you're probably going to find yourself not feeling very good. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel niggled every time you speak to this person. You are going to be in a very bad state of mind, all depending how toxic they are. I want to do some more work on this. I want to create some more videos about this, because it's very important in today's society to understand that the atmosphere of the modern world in itself is ripe for toxicity to flourish and develop. We don't hold enough values, we don't hold enough awareness, we don't hold enough instinct, our intuition to recognize and sense toxicity isn't always working as it should. And then, of course, we need to have courage to be able to recognize, understand, and address the toxic relationship. So look around you. Think about people who might irritate you, people who might manipulate you, people who might bend a situation to go their way. They will be people whose needs are greater than yours. They will always talk about themselves. They will bring the conversation around to talking about themselves. Have a think about these people in your life. And then I'll be doing other videos about how we manage or address this. Come to my workshops. Come and see me personally. Work with me. And then if you are having trouble, we can work either one-to-one or in a group and work out ways of actually managing these things so that you can feel far more confident about your own ability to communicate, and your own self-esteem can rise and help you to feel a lot better. It definitely is worth it. You can't keep giving a relationship the benefit of the doubt, hoping that it will change. I read somewhere the other day as saying that while somebody's benefiting, you're doubting, they'll continue to benefit out of your doubt. So the benefit of the doubt doesn't always cut it. You've got to recognise it for what it is and then start to think about managing it. And you can do that in a great many ways, which I'd like to help you to do. So, okay, I think that's just introduced that for now. So take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.